This is it, the official start of my Olympic triathlon training block. With 10 weeks to go until race day, I'm locking in the plan that's going to get me across the finish line in my best shape yet. I've come a long way, but now it's time to take this into phase 2, going further, pushing harder, and becoming race ready. I've built a 10-week plan that's structured, challenging, but still realistic, and here's how it's looking. The plan is to have 9 sessions per week. These will be split between swim, gym, bike and run, and is what worked well for me during my sprint triathlon training, and I should be able to hold a similar split during this one. During my training for that sprint triathlon, I found that swimming was my best discipline and that cycling was my worst. I know, it's quite the opposite from the vast majority of people who take up triathlon, but I'm relatively comfortable swimming between 1:45 and 2 minutes per 100 meters. I don't feel like there's too much to be gained on this leg. For the Olympic distance, my swim will be 1,500 meters. If I do that at a pace of 2 minutes per 100, it should take me 30 minutes. If I train my swimming as much as I feel I can probably get that down to somewhere in the region of 1:40 per 100, which would result in the swim taking 25 minutes instead. And that 5-minute difference will be the result of training incredibly hard and really pushing myself in the swim, which I just don't see as a good use of my time. Because of this, I'm going to just work to maintain or maybe even marginally improve my swim time. But it won't be a focus for me during my training block. So with that in mind, I'll be reducing my swimming to just 1 day per week, or as an alternative session if my legs are really sore. With this in mind, I'll aim to do 50% of these sessions in open water. This session that's been taken away from my swimming, I'd like to add to my bike. Cycling is by far my worst out of the 3 disciplines. Now, that may be because I haven't really ridden a bike for the last 15 years, or it might be because Vancouver is a cycling heavy area and I just don't stack up well against the competition. In any case, the bike leg of this triathlon is going to be 38 kilometers. I currently average in the region of 25 kilometers per hour, which means it will take me 1 hour and 31 minutes at my current pace. If I'm able to increase this to an average of 30 kilometers per hour, then it will take me 1 hour and 16 minutes, resulting in a 15-minute time save. I think this is attainable, but we'll have to see come race day. Out of everything in my previous training block, my running improvement is what surprised me the most. I went from running a 5K in 39 minutes to breaking 25 minutes in just a couple of months. I honestly haven't ran consistently since before I moved to Canada over 8 years ago, and even then it was still sporadic. Due to this, I'm happy to continue with 2 sessions per week, hoping that I continue to improve, although knowing it won't be at the same rate. If I can complete a 10K between 50 and 60 minutes, I'll be happy. One thing I'd love to know from any of you who are more experienced at triathlon is how much faster do I need to prepare to be in running? So after I've completed my 2 legs ahead of it, the swim and the bike, if I want to then complete my 10K in 50 minutes, for example, does that mean in training I should be able to complete a raw 10K in 45 minutes or 40 minutes? I just don't know how you find. I guess it's individual dependent, but I'd love to know if you have any suggestions for me for my training. For all these sessions, I'll be mixing up the training type. That means the sessions will vary across the training block, including long, tempo, interval, hills, and more, to ensure I'm able to build strength, endurance, and speed. I'll also be maintaining my 3 gym strength sessions per week. The change that I'll be making, though, is I'll be moving to a split that is chest and tris, back and bis, and legs and shoulders. This seems to work well for me, and I'm moving away from the 2 full body sessions and 1 conditioning session that I did in my previous training block. I'll see how it goes during this training block and review for the second half. The final condition that needs to be included in this training plan is the inclusion of trail running and mountain biking into the plan as well. You may be wondering why this is, but I actually have an adventure race that will be taking place 2.5 weeks after the Olympic triathlon that includes both of these disciplines. So I need to include sessions throughout the training block to help me prepare for this as well. I think it will also help keep me mentally engaged and vary the workouts even more, so I don't see it as a negative. So that's it. What you saw on screen was my first training block, and that's because I'm committing to completing this. However, the second one I've already made. It just has some faster times and also some increased distances, but I'm going to adjust that if needed later to the date, so I don't want to put that on screen at the moment because it might change based on how it goes. So the new training plan begins tomorrow, but before we hop into a slightly more strict diet, I think we should enjoy ourselves one last time. For the next 10 weeks, it's all about structured, clean eating, whole foods, post-training hydration and nutrition, and everything that helps with recovery and performance. Discipline starts tomorrow, but today we feast. Well, that was delicious. This week's all about calibration, getting a feel for pacing, volume, and how my body handles this increase in intensity for the new schedule. The swim felt great, as expected. One session a week should be more than enough to keep things sharp. On the bike, it's feeling okay. I still have a lot of work to do here to get myself into the top 50% of the cyclists in my triathlons. Trail sessions are a blast. A totally different demand, super fun, and key for building that technical skill for the adventure race. This plan isn't just about race day. It's about becoming a better athlete, stronger, faster, and more resilient. And with the Olympic triathlon coming up fast, and an adventure race right behind it, I've got no time to waste. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to follow along on the journey. Let me know in the comments how you found your first Olympic triathlon, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.